Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to share with you one of the projects I have done in the past 2 days. This project aims to produce a stock analysis report, but with a simplified format. As you can see on the left hand side, you can see the HTML file that I opened. That is the description file about the 3M company, which I have some of the stock trading price as a table, and then I have the trend graph utilizing the plotly package in Python, and I can check the data dynamically here. And eventually, I'm going to present part of the summary of the latest news about this company. The ticker is called 3M. So basically, in this video, I'm going to show you how I idealized this project and how I interact with ChatGPT and also the local LLM Studio to actually complete this project. Okay, so the first one is that I'm going to show you this general step on the right hand side. Basically, when I started this project, I start by thinking about the pipeline. First of all, I designed to have a main, the Python file called main, and it will quote, it will ask the other files to either import the function or to import the data to work. Okay, so basically the data Python file will get the data, predict, will run some prediction algorithm to give the prediction of the price of the next year. At this moment, I have the idea to use the T-1 and the T-2, which means that 1 year ago and 2 year ago data to predict the next year data, T+0. This one, you can always implement any prediction algorithm you want. Okay, this is just a simplified example. And then there is a plot.py plot file where you can plot these data, so you can visualize it. Okay, then in this project, I expanded to have the functionality to download the data, both the dataset with prediction value, and also the plotly HTML file. To download this file is very easy and straightforward, and you can have a different way to utilize this project, because in one way you can download the dataset, download the HTML separately. The other one, you are going to have a comprehensive HTML report to say the situation of this stock. Okay, there are two ways to utilize it. Then the first step, the first version of the comprehensive Python file package. I have this one is called a main CSV HTML plot. If you want to implement it in your local environment, remember to delete any words after the main, like this part, and run it. I mark it like this because I want to differentiate. So in this main file, it will serve to download the CSV of the dataset with prediction value and to download the HTML plot file so I can check. And it will use the other 1, 2, 3, 4 Python file. Okay, so basically, when I first get the first version, I added this download the data Python file, because I think I can do additional manipulation of the data, so it could be useful. Then I get to here. This is another version of the file. So I should add a point here. Yeah. In this version, actually, I want to create this HTML comprehensive report with rich content, so that I can check later like a very interactive report, so I can understand the stock price situation and how is the market is talking about the stock, the news summary. So basically, the most important update is to get a news summary, this Python file, and to use these templates to actually build this front-end HTML environment where you can check the report, just like I showed you before. That was the HTML file produced and I saved. Then I also tried some improvements on the HTML and the plot, improve the layout, display richness by modifying HTML, which you can iterate this process with large language model. It is quite intuitive. And also, at first, a regression line, I want to put the regression line in different year. However, I see there are gaps. So there are non-working day gaps. So I actually fixed it. It is not our emphasis of this video, so I'm not going to go very detailed about the regression algorithm. In the future, I'm going to make some videos about how we can use the different algorithm for real world data and see both their computational efficiency and see their result predictive ability. Then I also improved on the models. I tried to improve and to add more complicated, like a long short-term memory model. This model, when you check online, there are many great videos to tell you the machine learning algorithms, and they are in very detail. Um, the issue here is that when I wanted to implement long short-term memory, I had the TensorFlow package error, so I just leave it here. Okay, just if you want to try it, you can always modify it and to implement. Then the final workable version, um, I have the main.py file and also with the rich display of HTML. And I have a report on data, graph, and news. Only three very simple parts. Once you get a more complicated or more comprehensive structure of this whole project, actually you need more time to debug, to utilize, understand different package and so on. Okay, so there's many rooms to improve. So in the future, hopefully, I'm going to come back to this project and to give you some of the reports, like if you are the investment professional, you're going to present or discuss with your investment team. You're going to discuss many aspects. I think with the current pipeline where you can also use a large language model locally or with the API, the possibility actually increased a lot. So the gap between let's say a fresh graduates and the professional investor will be closer. However, I'm not going to say that the professional investor will be substituted right away, because that's not practical. Especially now, either the model, algorithm, and the coding, they still have many rooms to improve. And eventually, I'm going to mention it for you first. There are some key takeaways that you can get from this video. First, to add the additional query on specific data, either news, URL, or stock label full name, you have different options. For example, in each Python file, you can modify a function. You can you can add a new function to call different packages. The thing is, it is arbitrary choice. You can see that the complexity differs, and you need to try to understand which way best suits you. Okay. Then local LLM has a limited capability, especially about summarization and the feedback of the message. Later, I'm going to show you. I'm going to run one time to let you feel about the local LLM Studio and how it interacts with my application here. And about the prediction, okay, this one. If you want to use this project like to facilitate your stock trading strategy, please please understand that the fundamental strategy or the technical strategy you can always implement by make this project more comprehensive, adding more py file, making implement more algorithms, and implement different pipeline to summarize this data to give you insight. So you need to choose, okay? And remember that whenever you use the algorithms online to make a trading decision, remember it is very hard to outsmart the whole market, because you can also see many investment professionals will suggest you that if you do not have many time like a professional investor, the best way is to follow the general index, the index investing like Stamp 500. That is the safest way. Okay, so now let's continue. So about debugging using GPT and Llama 3, using both model will be better than using one model, because sometimes if you stick to only one model, the debugging process will be is like autoregressive, is going back to itself. It does not make any improvements. Then the debugging is either at a function or section level with LLM, and at some point, Mistral, Llama, GPT cannot improve HTML. So this means that if you want to debug or you want to create more sophisticated program, if you throw the whole context in the LLM, the result may not be very satisfactory. I would suggest to debug section by section, test section by section. So just not to always depend fully on the comprehending capability of the LLM. The final part is that the infinite possibility to prompt engineering to catering your need. So by adjusting the prompts in this project, local LLM Studio will give you different kind of response. Later I'm going to show you the example in detail. And in the future, I think there are many ways we can do to improve this project. We can debug the long short-term memory issue to make a additional algorithm to implement, and we can also introduce AutoGen to make a panel of discussion of different investors, and we can also use different long chain strategies. I still need to investigate the possibility of local implementation, and of course improvements on the HTML front end environment. The display of the reports will help you to discuss with others, to present the project, and so on. Of course, we can also add the Fred macro data to, first of all, we analyze the stock, and we also care about the macro situation. For example, if the interest rate is really high, what are the implications here for the stock market? And for my personal interest, maybe I will also investigate some of the European market, like Italian market, for example, because there are not many English broadcaster or YouTuber to introduce the Italian market strategy. Uh, so there are infinite possibilities. Okay, so now let's go through the files real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the comprehensive project that I'm using now. So if you want to use the different variation, just change the name of this main file, this one, and this one, and to make sure that only one main file is called, and to call the other Python files. Okay. So let's take a look at the project that I'm talking about. So in this part, first of all, like any Python file, first of all, we just import different Python file, different packages. So actually here you can see the Flask application setup, and this is actually an instance, and I'll also leave the description here on the left, so you can also check. There is a definition of the route, okay, to handle both requests of get and post. The get request is to is made to the route, fetches the symbol of the S&P 500 companies from the Wikipedia, and then renders an HTML template with these symbols. Okay, so you can read how it works. Basically, this one, the first building block, is actually to use this Flask application setup. Then there is a analyze function. This analyze function will actually quote the different functions you can see to perform the step. For example, this one is download the data. This one is fetch data. This one is to predict, which will use our different function settings in different Python file. Okay, so the login info is not 100% necessary. I think it's for debugging, but in reality, that does not serve much if this code works. It depends on you. Okay, it is a choice if you want to put it here or not. And eventually, the main block, the Flask application, is run in debug mode if the script is executed directly. Okay. So this one you can also change. Okay. Let's go to see. Let's start from the data py. Okay. So in the data py file, we can get see this function. It actually is to use the ticker symbol actually to download the specific stock that you want to analyze. Okay, and also it will give back both the data and also the full company name. Then about the predict file is to use a strategy to predict. As I said, you can use linear regression, long short-term memory, even the time series analysis. There are tons of different strategies to use. In a future video, if you are interested, I'm going to show you some real use case and to do different analysis. Yeah, and here, basically, it will actually calculate the predicted value and make it to the data frame. So for the next use of the plot, then when we see the plot, actually, this is, I use the Plotly package. Actually, it is a very dynamic package, and you need to handle different definitions here. If you are going to use candlestick for the stock price, actually this is the part of code you need to put. Yeah, it's not like only using one closing price. That would be much easier. And there are different definitions. You need to match it to the predict part. Okay, because predict will actually define the final layout of the data frame. So whenever you call the plot.py, you need to be ready. You need to match this data frame, match this plotting strategy with the data. So I think the most unique part about this project, which I, for example, like 1 or 2 years ago, I did not have the chance to do, is about the news summary. Okay, there are many ways to summarize the data. For example, like what I did, one of the algorithm sometime before is called the cosine similarity. Is to compare the different text and their similarity. Of course, you need to use some embedding strategy to code this different words and so on. But here, I use LLM directly. So basically, first of all, we need the source of the news. Luckily, we still have this Google News package in Python, so we can get the stock news from here. And if we pass this kind of news to the local environment, like this is a function of summarize news, which will call our local LLM Studio. LLM Studio is here. Okay, when you start a server, you choose the model, start the server, it is working. And the only thing you need to do, remember, is to use the AI assistant. This instance, I just use this example to implement in my application. So it will call this local LLM and to summarize this data and give a feedback. So basically, it will provide a summary and also the URL. Okay, to show later if you want to really double check if the links are real, you can go there. And eventually, it will go to this function to generate the HTML report. Okay. So this is this is a Python file of news summary. And regarding the HTML, let me show you here. In the template, because when I structured this whole whole application, actually ChatGPT suggested to use this framework to create a templates folder and put a different HTML inside. I'm not a professional front-end developer, but this works. You can try to modify. First of all, I get a very simplified HTML structure. Then I ask it to iterate and to provide more richness to the display. So it actually give me this result. So for example, this report HTML I think is the most important one because you can see from this from here you can see I'm going to display the data, display the plot, display the summary. Okay, in simplified way, this is what I want. And also you can see there is index HTML. They serve for different ways. I think this is like a front page where you can choose. Later I'm going to show you a demo. And there is also a error heading way. For example, when I meet an error, it will show me a button to go back home. So this is about the whole structure. I'm not going to go to each file to explain each code to you. You can try it, but the main thing is that once you have a general idea to build a project, you need to build it block by block, test block by block, from the beginning to the end, with the help of GPT and also the Hugging Chat, utilizing Llama model. Actually, the process for each different Py file, I used almost like 2 to 3 hours to debug. Because whenever you add a function, whenever you get a more complicated things, you will get error either here or there. Okay. Before I run the program, I'm going to first of all show you two versions of the summary report. The first version is like this. Okay, you need to adjust the prompt. So in this version, it does not show the URL. If you want to show the URL, like this version, you need to change both the function and also the prompt. Okay, because like this one, I ask it to summarize. So the general part of the summary will be shorter or longer based on your prompt. So there are many different variations of the report. Unfortunately, at this point, I do not have the chance to actually modify the display because the display is not very good, and you can see it's not nice, it's not beautiful. So I think there are many rooms to improve. This is the first thing I want to show you, two versions of the report, and you can try both. Then, as I said, the first version of the program, actually, I use a strategy to download the CSV file and also download the HTML. So each time we run this program, you can download these two, so you can further manipulate this CSV file or further manipulate this HTML file. This HTML file is actually showing you all the data dynamically like the comprehensive report. Okay, this is just one thing I want to show you. Okay, so now let's come here and run this code. Okay, I'm going to leave a blank page here. Okay, so let's run it. Always make sure that your LLM Studio is working. Okay, so I'm running it. Okay, now let's try to run it. I missed some problem, so I just fixed by restart. Yeah, so you can open the PowerShell and do python main.py, and the system will be up and running. Let's see what it says. Okay, basically you can access this HTML via this address. You can copy it or directly open it. And let's go back to the browser to open a new tab. Go inside. Okay, so actually, in the beginning, this page is not like this. It was a much um, I would say aboriginal, very simple layout. Now you can see this is much better looking. If you simplify the HTML structure, you can see a more rudimentary style. Here you can choose all the tickers from here. I have not tested all of them, but if you pay attention, I think some of the tickers may be are outdated. For example, let's try to locate FB. If FB is here, luckily it's not here because so if we can check like meta, let's see. Yeah, it's called meta, so it's good. Okay, so any stock you want to analyze. For example, let's choose Microsoft. Can you click analyze? So let's see what happens. It will actually run and call run first to get the news in the Google News package and pass it here to get a summarize. Let's just wait a moment to see the message passing in. For the other part, like get the stock data, predict the stock data, and get the plot, I'm not going to repeat here, okay? Because I think the most important part is now we have the LLM Studio as a tool which we can call locally to utilize the very rich function of the large language model to fulfill a task. At this moment, we are using a very simple assistant call here to get the summarize of the news. Let's see if we have some error. No, it is completed. Let's just wait. Yeah, actually, let me see. It is very fast. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice it. Actually, it gets the news and also send the news to the large language model. You can see these are, I think these are the titles of each news. Okay, the contents of the news, and let it summarize. Of course, if you think that the summarization of the title is not enough, you want to summarize, for example, the whole body of the news. I think it's also possible. Let's see now. It is generating a summarization. I don't know why this time is a little bit slow because like previous time, it is instantly go to this part. So we can see here, it actually give back the content. Here's a summary. Okay. I also, in my prompt, I ask it to provide a long-term, short-term perspective and investment suggestion. Let's say the large language model is very prudent and says to me it's essential to consult with a financial advisor. Okay, accept. So let's go back. You can see here now this report is finished. Okay, you can see the basic layout. We can have the title, stock report for Microsoft Corporation. We can have the data of the latest stock price, I think. But here the data is not shown. Maybe HTML problem, or it is because I did some indexing of the data during the prediction stage. Actually, I should further improve this part. But the idea is that it is by your choice if you want to show it or not. And here, this is a very dynamic graph. I like it very much. The problem is that the regression line is like, because I'm using like the past 2 year data as the training data actually to make the regression algorithm and to predict the next year data. However, you can see it is just like moving the regression line to t plus 0, t minus 2, t minus 1 to t plus 0. Of course, I think we need to have a better a better understanding of this algorithm and see if this kind of display of the regression line does make sense or not. But here you see the 30-day, 60-day, 90 days average line. In some technical strategy, trading strategy sense, you can use it to visualize and to make a decision. In this dynamic graph, if you want to focus on a specific part, yeah, like this, you can go inside. Yeah, you can choose as you need. And of course, the different lines you can choose to show or not. Let's see. Yeah, for example, 30-day average, 60-day average, 90 days average. Yeah, so you can see the buy, long or short strategy window. Then let's check about the summary. So now this is a kind of problematic. I cannot resolve um, uh, the display of the passage because this paragraph you can see here is a summary, okay, and here is the links. If you still, I mean, I have two choices. Either I spend more time to debug this whole application, or there is alternative to actually to put this part into the ChatGPT or other model to get a better structured output, and you can insert directly in the HTML. It depends on you, because if we are only for a test purpose, not like a batch production, like we are producing 100, 200 reports, this kind of information summary is useful, okay? But if we are talking about full automation and the very production-ready reports, this part we still need to improve. But at this moment, I just showed you how to build the framework of application for stock analysis. Here we have some numeric data, we have the graph of the historical data and some prediction results. And here we have the news summary and also the reference HTML, reference URL. So I guess at this stage it is useful. You can try and test it. In the future, I think we can also try the AutoGen to ask different agents, investment professional to discuss it. At this moment, my assumption is that now, whether or not we implement the RAG strategy, the agents talk with each other would still be bounded by the capability of large language model. And when we utilize such results, we need to utilize with caution. But I always think like the text information, summary reorganization is always very useful. So I wish you can implement some more strategies to produce the reports you like, and to play with local large language model and Python. Okay, I wish you like this video. As always, if you have any additional question, if you want to explore anything, or anything is not clear to you, you want me to improve, feel free to leave a comment. You are welcome to subscribe. If you do not subscribe, I also thank you for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye bye.